Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss chapter 5, and the chapter 5 is your magnetism and matter. Now the first topic which we are going to discuss is your current loop as a magnetic dipole. Now magnet has two poles, one is your north, another one is your south. Now if you consider solenoid and if you send current through the solenoid, then that solenoid behaves as a magnet with two poles, one is your north, another one is your south. Now, as per the direction of current, how can we define the poles of a magnet? Now, you see in the figure, there is written N, and you see when the current flows in anti-clockwise direction, then that N behaves as a north pole, and when current flows in clockwise direction, then that N behaves as a south pole. You see the direction of the current, one with N, another with S. N is your north pole, another one is your south pole. In north pole, current flows in anti-clockwise direction, and in south pole the current flows in clockwise direction. Now, magnetic dipole moment of a current loop can be defined by this expression. Magnetic dipole moment basically denotes with the symbol small m, and it is nothing but the product of the current and area. So if you consider a loop through which the current I is flowing, and if the area of the loop is your capital A, then magnetic dipole moment can be defined as your m equal to IA, where m is your magnetic dipole moment, I is your current, and A is your area. Basically, magnetic dipole moment is a vector quantity and its direction is perpendicular to the plane of the circular current loop. So if you draw a perpendicular on the loop, then that direction gives the direction of the magnetic dipole moment. So this point is very important because few topics are related with the magnetic pole with the direction of current. So you must have to follow this rule. If the current flows in anti-clockwise direction, then that phase behaves as a north pole, and if the current flows in clockwise direction, then that phase behaves as a south pole. Now, let you go for this topic, magnetic dipole moment of a revolving electron. Now, electron is moving in a circular path, and here in the figure, we have given the mass of the electron as your m suffix e, and its direction of the linear velocity can be defined by the tangent at that specific point where we have to define the direction of the velocity, and that is specified by v vector. And electron is a negative charge. Electron has negative charge. That's why the direction of current is direction of basically the opposite to the direction of the velocity. So current flows opposite to the direction of the velocity as the charge particle is of negative. So you see direction of movement is anti-clockwise direction and direction of current is your clockwise. Now you can define the direction of angular momentum by using thumb rule. If the curl finger gives the direction of flow of current, then the thumb gives the direction of magnetic dipole moment, as well as if the direction of velocity is in a particular direction, then the thumb gives the direction of angular momentum. Just is your right hand thumb rule. Now angular momentum basically denotes by L, and in vector notation L vector equal to R vector into linear momentum, that is your ME V vector. So you have to consider L vector as a thumb direction provided the curl finger gives the direction of the velocity. So if you hold your right hand with the curl finger gives the direction of velocity, then the thumb will be in upward direction and it gives you the direction of angular momentum. So L vector is perpendicular to the plane containing R and V. So you can consider V is nothing but the tangent, and definitely radius is perpendicular to the tangent, so sine 90 degrees. So L ME VR sine 90 degrees, so it comes out to be your ME VR. Now this one, number two, current can be defined by I equal to E by T, that is charge by time, and T is your time period, and time period can be defined by circumference by velocity. So circumference is your 2 pi r and velocity is your v. So current comes out to be your E by 2 pi r by v, so EV by 2 pi r. Now orbital angular momentum, and for defining orbital angular momentum you must have to follow the direction of current. So if you consider again your right hand thumb, provided the curl finger gives the direction of the current, then the thumb will be in downward direction perpendicular to the plane, and that is nothing but is your mu suffix L. That is your orbital angular momentum. So orbital angular momentum is nothing but is your magnetic dipole moment. So current into I. So I equal to EV by 2 pi r, and A is your pi r square if it is circular. So if you simplify, pi goes off and 1 r goes off, so EV r by 2. So what we will do, you multiply both numerator and denominator by the mass of the electron, you will get E me Vr by 2 me. So E me Vr gives you the linear angular momentum, or angular momentum simply. So it comes out to be your El by 2 me. Now as we have defined the direction, L vector and mu L vector are in opposite direction, because L vector for L vector you have to consider the direction of the velocity, and for mu L vector you have to consider the direction of current. So if you consider your right hand thumb along the direction of L vector, then curl finger is the direction of velocity. If you consider direction of current as your curl finger, then the thumb gives you the mu L, that is in downward direction. So in vector notation, L and mu L are in opposite direction. That's why you have to substitute one negative sign. That is your mu L vector equal to minus E by 2 me L vector. Now mu L by L, if you consider this expression, mu L by L is nothing but E by 2 me. That is known as gyromagnetic ratio. So sometimes it is asked to define the gyromagnetic ratio. So you have to use this expression number 4. Now number 5 is this one. Number 5, from Bohr postulates, that is your second postulate. I think most of you know, angular momentum is your integral multiple of h by 2 pi. So MEVR equal to NH by 2 pi, n equal to 1 to 3, etc. So we have to express this one, mu L E MEVR by 2 me, E by 2 me, MEVR is your NH by 2 pi. So EH by 4 pi me n. So EH by 4 pi me is nothing but is your Bohr magneton. So this few term is very important because sometime in exam it is asked to define Bohr magneton, or in 1 mark MCQ question you can get to identify the Bohr magneton. So this part is very simple. Please go through and try to find out your doubts. Now the next topic which you are going to define is your few terms, because this chapter is your magnetism and matter. So this term you must have to know. Now number 1 term is your magnet. So what we have written, a substance which attracts small pieces of iron, steel, cobalt, nickel and rest in the north-south direction when suspended freely is called a magnet. So these are the things. I think most of you know what is magnet, and also I think most of you know what is bar magnet. As per here, a bar magnet is a rectangular piece of magnet having south and north poles of equal strength separated by small distance. So bar magnet or any magnet always has 2 poles. Monopole is not possible. So a dipole, that is your one is north, another one is your south. Now to generalize or to define magnetic field, you have to go for this term, that is your magnetic field lines. So what we have written, let me read out. Magnetic field lines or magnetic field line is an imaginary curve, the tangent at any point of which is the direction of the magnetic field. So more related with the magnetic field lines we will discuss in coming class regarding the properties of the magnetic field lines. So please go through this part. These topics are very important and also very simple. So what you have to do, go through and try to find out your doubts, because these are very important. and also simple. Thank you.